Look, I need a hard hit, I need a deep, I need...
This is Shred, and today... Today, the plan is to dissect the music theory in Cardi B's magnum opus, WAP. So I've started my WAP music theory lesson, but as you can see, the page is blank, because there's just not that much going on. Now, I'm sure most of you are familiar with this #1 2020 summer hit by now. So the question is, why am I undertaking this tsunami of vag juice? This moist mayhem of intricacy? Because this is some scary shit. And being that it's almost Halloween, we could all use a good scare. In this video, we'll perform a complete and thorough analysis of this weak-ass pop song, the melodic, harmonic, and rhythmic elements. We're also going to use this eternal, timeless work of art to study arranging, couching the classic in a metal context, a classical guitar version, and we'll even apply some Bach and Schoenberg compositional ideas. So what are you waiting for? Sell your soul to me, the Dark Lord of Desecration. All it takes is your signature on the dotted line. In return, you'll get unlimited access to the evil on my Patreon page. All the tabs for this video, my music theory course, my scale and chord Bible, as well as my courses on modes. It's a great way to step up your game and take your guitar playing and your theory knowledge to the next level. Before we dive into Lake Cardi, let's open our minds to the possibility that it takes more than moisture to make a good song. Music contains three basic elements: melody, harmony, and rhythm. For example, in 035, the top line is considered the melody. This is what we typically sing when humming a tune to ourselves in the shower. Harmony is the chords. In 035, that'd be the combination of the top and bottom lines together. This produces a foundation for the melody, giving it a major or minor vibe. The rhythm is the amount of time given to each note. In 035, the rhythmic values are mainly quarter notes or one note per beat. Now that we've got the basic elements of music in mind, let's turn our attention back to the damp wetlands of WAP. Do you hear a melody?
Put this cookie right in your face, swipe your nose like a credit card.
Unless the Halloween theme is stuck in your head, you're probably struggling to hear it because it isn't there. The husky, soggy sound of Miss B's voice is all I'm getting. Now you might be thinking, so what if there's no melody, Shred? Surely there's a rich harmonic framework to unpack. Well, let's swim further into the southern seas and find out. As I mentioned earlier, harmony or chords is one of the three elements that makes music. Typically that's 3 or more notes at a time, but you can certainly create harmonic movement with just 2 notes, as we saw in 035. Can you hear any chords in this soaking wet track? The answer is no. There's no chords. In fact, the only musical data that I can find here is the electronic drums and a 3-note bass line. What I'm trying to say here is we're working with an incomplete set of musical components. I expected more from you, Cardi. Actually, that's wrong. I didn't. And Stallion, don't think you're getting off the hook so easy either. And just like that, I've eliminated pop music. Before moving on, let's cleanse our minds with a little Halloween music. That's better. Let me know in the comments what song is your favorite to listen to on Halloween. Alright, now that we've plummeted into the depths of Wappian theory analysis, let's have some fun. One advantage to music that doesn't contain much information is that it's easy to rearrange. The 3-note bass line contains the notes B, C, and C sharp. That's the first 3 notes of the chromatic scale. So you're telling me there's scales other than pentatonic? Mozart approved. If you want to grab a copy of my Scale Bible, I'll include it in the link below. And you're also going to get access to my Chord Bible, my Intro to Music Theory course, and my modal content, which is a great deal because I'm always updating these things to give you guys maximum evil value. Here's a few creepy acoustic Halloween chords harmonizing the bass line, which I've moved to the melodic register, or the higher part. I'm using the low B note as a pedal tone or repeating note to provide a solid foundation for the chromatic melody on top. We're roughly in the key of B minor here, which is demonstrated by the F sharp chord voiced over the tonic pedal. This sound always makes me moist. At the end, I use the chromatic line to reference the James Bond theme. I prefer my WAP juice shaken, not stirred. Now we can't resist the opportunity to make this deep sea treasure metal. So let's toss some heavy riffs into the mix and see what happens. Now, All Hallows Eve is nigh, so let's get high. I mean, since Halloween is almost here, let's put our film scoring hat on and try replacing the Michael Myers theme music with some WAP. I use the electronic drum loop along with the bass line to generate some spooky counterpoint variations. For the ultra music theory nerds, let me explain this real briefly. I'm loosely using Bach's concept of prime, inversion, retrograde, and retrograde inversion. The prime is the original, or the WAP bass line. The inversion flips the intervals upside down. The retrograde is backwards, very satanic by the way. And the retrograde inversion is the prime backwards and flipped, or upside down. The 20th century composer Arnold Schoenberg used this concept to create atonal music, which of course is scary as f***. In conclusion, is pop music wrong or bad? Of course not. There's plenty of quality pop music out there. What makes music good or bad is a deep discussion for another video. The Beatles were an amazing pop band, and there's a lot of quality modern pop as well. Even someone like Billie Eilish has a lot of redeeming elements with clever vocal layering and well thought out harmonies. But Cardi B's WAP isn't well thought out or constructed. And from a lyrical standpoint, it's quite corrosive. The central message here is really one of putting the pussy on the pedestal. Worship me for my glorious soaking vag. Now, if you're a guy and you defend this kind of content, you're probably simping hard, very hard. Stop before it's too late and take back some self-respect for God's sake. That's it for this video, guys. I really appreciate you and your viewership. Let me know if you enjoyed this kind of different format. Stay evil and enjoy Halloween.